I'm Wendy Rutledge, and this is Palm Beach TV, a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association. Here's what's straight ahead on this week's Island News. It is a bird's eye view of the environmental disaster playing out at Lake Okeechobee, how a local pilot is bringing images of the toxic green algae to all of us from the air. Soon, every police officer on Palm Beach Island will be outfitted with a body camera. We'll look at how this improves our town's policing and public safety. The May Town Council meeting heats up over a number of pressing issues. We'll look at the issues still on people's minds, even though the summer exodus is already upon us. This and much more coming up next on Palm Beach TV. Last week, we showed you from the ground the incredible toxic blue-green algae buildup that is going on at Lake Okeechobee and, of course, closing the Pahokee Marina, as well as possibly traveling through the canal system right into the Lake Worth Lagoon. Well, this week, we got in touch with a local resident pilot who's going to show us that same disturbing video from the air.
Soaring over Lake Okeechobee, it is easy to appreciate its vastness. It is, after all, the largest freshwater lake in Florida. But fresh may be a misnomer these days, as pilot Gary Lickle points his camera at what appear to be waves on the water. The iridescent color green tells the real story. A lake stricken by a cyanobacterial surge caused by toxic blue-green algae.
2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, when we had the super algae, the guacamole in St. Lucie and everything else, what I saw then compared to what I saw last week, it is much worse last week. And it's much earlier, before the real heat has come.
As you know, summer's heat will compound this problem, encouraging the toxic algae to multiply at a faster, more dangerous rate. Pilot Lickle's flight over canals feeding into and out of the lake displays toxic algae buildup all along the banks, and in some cases so thick, becoming one mass of algae covering the entire span from bank to bank. Just how did we get into this mess?
When there are flash floods or flash rainstorms, there's natural phosphorus that's on those fields in addition to whatever the cows and the agriculture brings. But that was racing off of the topsoil into the Kissimmee River, which was straight canal at the time, loading Lake Okeechobee.
Lickle's shots of the Pahokee Marina clearly show the chunks of toxic algae trapped between boats moored there. A quick call to the marina confirmed that due to the toxic algae accumulation, the facility is closed indefinitely, as it has been deemed hazardous to our health. Meantime, the rainy season is near, and sooner or later, water, as contaminated as it is, will have to be released to lower the lake level.
The Army Corps obviously has their own agenda. They may have to do some discharges in order to lower the lake level. And if they do, there's no question that the algae is going to pour into the St. Lucie area.
But Lake Okeechobee is not the only area in jeopardy. Right now, the Lake Okeechobee Systems Operating Manual, also called LOSOM, is being revised, a document that will determine where Lake Okeechobee's discharged water will flow for the next decade.
Right now, that process is going through right now, and if the project delivery team continues on a path that they are, the Lake Worth Lagoon is looking at more discharging from Lake Okeechobee in our immediate future. So all these towns, all these municipalities need to stand up for their communities and say, we really do not want Lake Okeechobee water sent into the Lake Worth Lagoon, because it would be devastating to public health and to environment.
Body camera video tells a story of its own from a crime scene. Well, now the Palm Beach Police Department plans to outfit every single one of its officers with one of these personal recording devices.
You may not realize it, but every police car in the Palm Beach Police Force is already equipped with dash cam video, a feature that has many times proven useful in sorting out fact from fiction.
There were some allegations made for a traffic stop on Worth Avenue in reference to sexual harassment, possibly some quid pro quo involving a traffic ticket. Ultimately, that was proved to be unfounded from looking at the dash cam video, and someone was charged with that.
Now, thanks to the approval of funding by the Palm Beach Town Council, every single officer in the Palm Beach Police Department will be outfitted with a body camera. Some, like Officer Robert Mastrangelo, who already has a body cam, find that it has come in handy when intense situations start playing out fast.
If I happen to be somewhere and something happens and it's like very quick, I don't have time to go get a camera or turn my mic on. Camera's right here, I turn it on, and now I get the whole experience of whatever situation was that I just went through.
And as a training officer, he says playback of the body cam video can help officers learn how to improve their skills.
The officer might have been able to do something better, respond better, things he didn't see. We can always go back, review the video, say, okay, if we come into this situation or scenario again, these are some better tips or, things that we can do to kind of correct the situation.
Many of the town's residents have already packed up and moved north, others not far behind. But the Palm Beach Town Council works all summer long, monitoring some very transformative projects and the fight against the coronavirus.
Though the plexiglass barriers are still up and social distancing still enforced for the residents in the audience, all members of the Palm Beach Town Council were present for the May meeting, a sign that, more than a year into the COVID-19 pandemic, things are moving toward normal.
For the zip code of 33480, which includes South Palm Beach, the town of Palm Beach predominantly and a piece of South Palm Beach, we've seen about 1,000 more people get vaccinated than a month ago, and we're up to 9,600 people. That's really good. The town's population, which is generally over the age of 65, has a lot greater desire to be vaccinated because of their risks.
Though the vast majority of island residents are now vaccinated, that is not the case for Palm Beach County at large, a potentially dangerous situation for those vaccine holdouts.
You're either going to be vaccinated or obtain some immunity, or you're going to get the virus. And, for those that are, especially those that are older or those with medical conditions, that can be deadly.
Experts tell us that herd immunity, which would mean roughly 80% of the population has been vaccinated, is not attainable unless and until more people get the shots.
So the vaccines have really protected us. Please get your vaccine. That's right, you have two choices: get COVID-19 or get your vaccine. So please get your vaccine.
Meantime, the ongoing undergrounding project is going into high gear over the summer, with construction and paving happening at a fast clip. In fact, though the town lost about a year of progress due to some homeowners refusing to grant easements to install transformers on their property, town engineer Patricia Strayer says more resident compliance in recent months means the undergrounding project will catch up on that lost year of work.
Every single phase, we're either designing, constructing, or complete. So we're expecting, hoping to award phase 6 north and south on schedule May 2021. 2021? No, May 2022. So we expect to be back on schedule next May.
As for the new marina, all good there. The project on budget and on track to open 4 yachts by November. Meantime, circling back to that toxic algae situation in the water at Lake O and in our estuaries, Bobby Lindsay offers this reminder to residents.
Town ordinance that has been in, I think this is the 3rd season. It's a fertilizer ordinance. As you know, we are experiencing blue-green algae blooms right now coming out of Lake Okeechobee and through the C-51 canal. This is toxic cyanobacteria. It will kill your pet if they jump into the water. This is not the kind of thing we want to promote. And nutrients promote algae growth. So please, since this is an ordinance that's very difficult to enforce, I just want to remind everybody, no fertilizing with nitrogen and phosphorus containing fertilizers starting June 1 and through September 30th. And please talk to your landscapers and your property managers before you leave town. Please make sure that they adhere to this. It's honestly for the good, not only of your community, but for our waterways and our state.
One other piece of town business, the annual Hurricane Seminar, held virtually Thursday morning, May 13th, and viewable in full on the website townofpalmbeach.com.
The Phipps Ocean Park beach restoration project is now complete, and that's good because they made it just in time so the $10 million FEMA grant to pay for it was never in jeopardy. Good news. Meantime, the former chief of police, Michael Ryder, has made a film capturing the work the crews did morning, noon, and night. To watch the full video shot by Michael Ryder, click the link below. And if you want to learn more about the Phipps Ocean Park Beach Nourishment Project, check out William Kelly's latest article posted on our website. That wraps up this week's Palm Beach TV newscast. We thank you for watching. If you did like the newscast, why don't you send the link below to a friend? If you are not a member of the Palm Beach Civic Association, we urge you to join us. And if you are a member, please renew. We will see you next week on Palm Beach TV, a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association, where membership matters.